Okay guys, so a lot of details have hit the net in regards to how Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to connect to Avengers Doomsday and why Spider-Man is not in Avengers Doomsday. So in this video, we're going to look at the bigger picture and sort of pull back and do a eagle-eye view of what Spider-Man 4 is and what the next Avengers is and why this actually makes sense when you look at it. So ever since it was revealed that the next Spider-Man entry is of course Spider-Man Brand New Day, this, naturally so, raised a lot of questions and a lot of people just asking how exactly is this going to connect to Avengers Doomsday? As obviously Avengers Doomsday comes out first, a few months go by, we get Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then about 9 months after that, we're getting Avengers Secret Wars. So there's been a lot of questions in regards to how are they going to handle this, because the last time we saw this, we had Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and between them was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Well, now we know exactly how they're going to deal with this, so let's get into it. So first and foremost, this info comes at us from Jeff Snyder from the Insnyder. Now, to further add more to this, other insiders have also said that they heard the same exact thing. Now, Jeff Snyder, I should know that his reputation and some of his scoops have more recently become a lot looser, aka he's kind of been vague scooping, and he's also gotten things more wrong than right in the last year and a half as opposed to the last 5. So the more he's scooping, the more he's become wrong. That's just how it goes. And the other scoopers adding support to him all have pretty dodgy track records as well. But we're going to talk about why I think this is exactly what's going to happen in regards to what he said. So first and foremost, the report that he stated was that Spider-Man Brand New Day would take place at the exact same time as the events of Avengers Doomsday. So much like how Ant-Man and the Wasp took place during the events of Infinity War and it ends right alongside of them where, they get dusted, Spider-Man is going to be doing the same thing. So the reason Spider-Man isn't in Avengers Doomsday is because he's occupied with the events of his own film. Which then brings me to the big report and rumors in regards to what this film is and what's going on during the events of Avengers Doomsday with Spider-Man. And I should bring it up that all of this is rumors. We don't have real big confirmation or any significant leaks, but we're going off of everything that's been stated and sort of putting it all together to paint the bigger picture here, if you will. So with that in mind, let's get into what Spider-Man Brand New Day is about and how and why it's running concurrently with Avengers Doomsday. So as far as we know, Avengers Doomsday will largely consist of Doctor Doom and what has been referred to as an incursion team of villains, and they will be attacking and causing incursions across multiple universes. Among these will be the X-Men universe getting attacked by a team of, incursion villains, and of course the Avengers will be tossed in to fight across multiple different battle worlds, if you will. And what we're hearing is that Spider-Man is going to be one of these battle worlds, but his story doesn't necessarily connect to everything. It's more self-contained. So what's going on is that during Avengers Doomsday, we have all these little incursions that are happening as sort of if you will, pocket battle worlds, I guess is the best way to explain it. And Spider-Man is in one of these. But his problems are so self-contained to his story and the characters in his film that he doesn't appear in Doomsday because, again, he's dealing with his own universe. And what's going on in his is apparently, and again, take all of this with a grain of salt because it's rumors from multiple sources that have been compiled into one, his film deals with the fallout of the last film, but according to these reports, the spell that he cast about forgetting who Peter Parker is might have transcended time and space, and now other Peter Parkers are starting to be forgotten across the entire multiverse. thus bringing in the different Spider-Men as well. Andrew Garfield, Tobey, and Sadie Sink as Tobey's daughter. And that they're all fighting for their lives, and that what we're going to be getting in this specific Spider-Man film is Spider Island. Now, Spider Island would be different than the concept you know. Essentially, what we're getting is every villain and hero that they can toss in that they featured in all the live-action Spider-Man will be tossed into this. So, villains from the TASM universe, seen and unseen. Villains from the Raimi universe, seen and unseen, will all apparently be making their way in. And this battle world will consist of Peter and the heroes teaming up to fight all sorts of incursion warriors that are all fighting to take down Spider-Man. So you can see how this incursion war would happen at the same time as the Doomsday incursion war. So they're running parallel, but Spider-Man is just largely focused on Spider-Man because it's not a small little part of Doomsday, which is what some of the other stories would be about, like the X-Men universe getting attacked with an incursion army and things like that. And if this all turns out to be true, honestly, it sounds pretty reasonable and good. Then it makes sense why Spider-Man isn't in this, just like how it made sense that Ant-Man wasn't in Infinity War, because his story was literally running concurrently. So in my opinion, I think that this would be smart to a degree, if they can show restraint with the next Spider-Man. Because if you're tossing in, as it's been rumored, both Spider-Men returning, and like 5 or 6 villains, and then you're also adding the likes of Venom, which has been rumored, and might be Tom Hardy's and might be a new one, we don't know. And then rumors of other characters from the MCU, because the rule of including 2 major MCU film characters. Again, that's quite a large film, you know, and I don't want to say I'm going to dismiss it right away, because that's not what I'm doing, but I'm just saying that it's a pretty substantially loaded film if all of this is true. Now look, yeah, I get it. At least it's not all like compressed and compounded into what's happening with Doomsday, and that's great, but I feel like this seems like just another big event Spider-Man film, and very little of it is going to focus on Spider-Man growing as a character who was perfectly set up for a small story that can unfold in the MCU, especially with the events of the MCU, especially with vigilantes playing out right there. So again, wait and see to pass judgment, but man, this is sounding like a stuffed film if it's true. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.